Yeah, so they are allowed to start. So maybe it would be if someone tells them that they can start the round.
I'll go quickly. Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it says that Yves is his first big tournament, so he only played local yet.
I mean to go 5-1 with Zoroark in a format that is really quite hostile to Zoroark.
Yeah,
what did he spot that Tor didn't? Is the question we need to ask ourselves.
Well, maybe
the lists are over there. I think.
Played against Lapras.
Oh no, he's playing the one with Lurantis in it as well.
So the promo Lurantis just to deal more damage.
I think so.
No, these are not.
The previous ones. So with
the card scans. Can you make the card scans? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So we have kind of an interesting situation where it's going to be a Zoroark mirror, which normally Zoroark likes being in Zoroark mirrors.
Yeah, I was
it's
just
the one that's
saying,
actually favoured, I think, in this situation. Zoroark Garbodor very good against most decks, but because the fact that the Garbodors only have 120 HP, it does mean that you can't use your Racer Rollers and keep kind of recycling things as efficiently as you could in the Zoroark lists. So it's going to be an interesting little game. It looks like Fabien may only be playing the one Lele, because he's Ultra Balled for a Zorua, and he could have gone for a Lele and got a Bridget and played multiple.
Wait, why is there an end in this goodbye?
He end first, so...
Oh yeah, so he can use Bridget, right?
Course,
yeah, fair enough.
So we must have had a slightly awkward start. We're just having to pass with only 2 Zorua out.
Not perfect, but should be fine. Now, the Tapu Koko is a great start Pokemon, I would say. It's free retreat, you can start attacking if you want. Really fast damage.
So, from Fabien's point of view, this is actually the first target you really want to be going for.
Yeah, and here we see Promo Lurantis gets discarded by Sycamore, and he is counting the item cards in his discard pile as well. And another Lurantis, so he does play a 2-2 Lurantis, it seems.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this way he is... Wait, how much damage does First Impression then deal?
160.
40 more?
Yeah, so it'd be 190 with the Choice Band.
Yeah, so against Buzzwole. But I think Buzzwole should be able to take the knockout on the Promo Lurantis.
Yeah, they already have 60
easily.
HP, so...
depending on the build, of course, that might be different.
The other interesting thing is, though, is... This really tilts...
Is he even playing Zoroark?
He may not be playing any Zoroarks at all.
Yeah, he probably doesn't play Zoroark, right?
No, this looks more like it's going to be a Wimpod Lurantis that's snuck its way into...
Oh, that's a really cool deck.
Yeah, it's actually really neat. Yeah. Well, because actually, if you think about it, in Buzzwole, the Lycanroc being weak to grass, people are going, we can get away with that now.
Yeah.
Not if you come against Yves, suddenly it becomes an awful lot more difficult for you.
Oh, that's a really cool deck.
That's actually a really neat idea.
We had a lot of luck picking this. Yeah, alright, so now it's Fabien's turn. Just attach a double colors energy card to his active Pokemon.
And Cynthia Ring, hoping to draw.
Yeah, I know. You can just say what you want to say. What do you want to say?
No. So...
Well, I mean, the price cards look like Zoroark, so you have like 2 Wimp. You play 3.
I mean, until you put in the second for Mantis, I had no idea what
often
was
you
happening.
play 3-2.
Yeah.
Right? So the price cards look like Zoroark.
So
but we will see later. On Fabien's side of the field, we see Mysterious Treasure. Kind of a cool card, probably like the 5th Ultra Ball.
Yeah, probably. Well, it basically means that he doesn't... while Zoroark is perfectly happy throwing cards away and getting more cards, that's kind of why it's such a good deck. Being able to kind of choose only to discard one card actually makes things a lot easier. And managing to get out the Troutfish. It'd be interesting to see which Garbodor he feels he needs more in this matchup. If he wants to go for the ability lock, just so the damage doesn't spiral out of control. Or if he just goes, yeah, but Trash Launch will just take a load of prizes at some point.
Yeah, and now Yves attaching a Grass Energy to his Wimpod. He has an Evosoda in his hand, so he can evolve. There's already 20 damage on the active, so in theory if he evolves both, gets a Choice Band. Now we can take a sneak peek at the deck, and yeah, a lot of grass energy cards, no Zoroark. We have straight Golisopods.
Very
This
interesting.
is such a cool deck. And yeah, let's see what he actually evolves into.
When he looked through there, I didn't see a Golisopod.
No, I saw like
Okay.
There. Maybe he even plays a non-GX, a one-off. That would be cool.
That would actually be a really strong
deck
deck with
list.
the it has like an armor ability, right? It takes less damages from EX and GX.
Yeah, I mean against non-GX possible, probably not.
Kind of pointless.
Yeah, but we have no idea. Or he might even play like one Lurantis GX.
That would be nice to recover a load of energy. He's playing the DCEs, so maybe.
I mean, it looks like he is probably just playing straight Golisopods.
Yeah.
With
Which is actually he's actually
two
playing the
or
promo
three.
arts as well, which I haven't seen in a long time. But it'd be really interesting to see. He's got the grass energy attached. He's
Oh,
playing
he
the
plays
escape
escape
rope.
rope. Oh, this is so cool.
This is a spicy little list. This one, I like this.
But he goes for the flying flips, setting up some knockouts here. Putting the damage on Zoroark is really strong. And Fabien is still... Now he has to adapt to like completely no matchup.
Yeah,
and
this is the
we
thing.
will
Is
see.
Fabian's a top tier player, but to
Alright.
suddenly sit down after playing 6 rounds of Pokemon to suddenly go, hang on, this is a straight Golisopod deck. How on earth do I
Yves
adjust?
plays 4-3 Golisopod and then 3-3 Lurantis promo. So he discarded one Lurantis promo, but which means he has still 2 in his deck. So
But he must also have
first impression for 190.
He must know. He's searched enough times now. He's gone. There's not an awful lot of Wimpods in here.
Yeah, true.
Like, how am I going to take these price cuts?
But yeah, he plays no Acerola, which seems fair. His deck is not designed like Zoroark. Golisopod was a lot, just heal, get 2 knocked out, but prevent your opponent from doing that. But this deck can actually take 1 knockouts, so he plays 2 Coco promos just to set up the damage and then rush through it. And we will see the second Mysterious Treasure from Fabien.
Yeah, he's playing. So
His less is French.
yeah, no, this is the card. I'm just trying to work out what the number is. I believe that's a 1. So did he double puzzle for it?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, so he's only playing the 1. But yeah, so the French list makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's a fairly well-known deck now.
And Latios putting in perfect work here.
Yeah, being able to just about take out the KO, and I guess the 30 is going to go straight onto the Golisopod to say, right, I don't think there's no way on earth you have enough space in here to play Ace of Rollers as well.
Okay, so Yves promotes the Floatstone Lurantis, draws another Fomantis, not too important. I'm not sure if he plays Rescue Stretcher. No
Don't
Rescue
see it.
Stretcher in his list.
In fact, there's very little recovery at all. None. And there's also no way to recover any of the energies.
Yeah, so there isn't really a point in putting the Fomantis on the bench now, unless it has an attack which helps you, but I don't even know what it does.
It attaches energy, I believe, from deck to one of your bench Pokemon.
I remember the attack was not too bad. I don't know exactly what it does. Maybe we can... the Fomantis.
It's an energy to itself.
Okay.
Ah, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's not so
really
great
useful. Yeah, Yves taking some time here. And
Finds-
going for the Cynthia. So we will see a knockout potentially on the Latios with a first impression. I'm a big fan of the one escape rope. Such a cool card.
But so it's also things like the armor press maths becomes a little bit better, but the other big one is your crossing cut. You now
Yeah,
actually
crossing
hit
card is just
a straight
one
one-hit KO
knockout,
on
yeah.
anything now.
Oh, and the second promo. And another Cynthia, so really, really good head. He can even, he can armor press now if he wants to.
Take the KO and be fairly safe.
Let's see if this is actually what he's going for. Oh boy.
He comes in. If he armor presses this turn, he actually gets into the position where he can crossing cut the turn after and take out a Zoroark with no damage on it. Would go down.
Yeah, and he's just grabbing on his dagger. It's like, oh, where are my prize cards? Yeah, this is a bit different this time.
So if I'm hitting there going, Well, what on earth is going on? There's two Lurantis staring down at me. The Golisopod can now one-shot a Lele with Armor Press in its current state, so it seems very quickly gets to pretty nice numbers actually. This list.
Yeah, and it doesn't really need so many item cards to do a lot. He doesn't really play that many anyways. He plays 4 Floatstone, 4 Ultra Ball, and 4 Choice Band, 2 Field Blower, and 3 Evo Soda. So the Treasure Land will probably also not be the biggest issue here. Fabien just going for an N. His board position is really fair now. The Golisopod, because of the ability from the promo Lurantis, the Golisopod is probably not the like the Garbodor with Garbotoxin.
Yeah, it seems like a really solid option.
Yeah, because otherwise the Zoroark will just get one-hit knocked out.
Which is probably not what you expect to happen when you sit down and see a Wimpod.
Yeah, now we see he actually has the Treasure Land in his hand, just trades it away, draws into the
Garbotoxin.
Yeah, the Garbotoxin one.
But he
plays Rescue Stretcher.
So he's just going to shuffle.
Shuffle the Latios and 2 Garbs back into his deck. So now he has access to them. The Treasure Land might be very key in the late game.
Well, I think what Fabien doesn't know, but we know, and Yves will almost certainly know, is that once this Golisopod goes away, it's going to be very, very difficult to find a way to set up another one.
Kilele for N?
Yes.
Okay, did he already play one?
Don't think he did.
He just benched it to do more damage and then
yeah.
just took the N for next turn.
Because he's expecting some weird shenanigans from the other side. So...
Yeah, so now it's on 130, Armor Press, 100 more. So this is correct?
Yep.
Just making that sure, and...
Let me bridge it. Yes, this would be a turn I'd like to see him... Yes, there's only one Wimpod left, but he really needs to find it now and get an attachment onto it.
Yeah, and
he has no other options to attack.
Yeah, no heavy ball.
In fact, there's nothing in hand he can play.
And he just goes for a crossing cut straight away.
Yeah, that's kind of all he had in hand.
So Fabien, if he gets some Guzma, that's very good. If he doesn't have a Guzma, Yves is still in a really weird position. Like with the Garbotoxin in play, his strategy doesn't really work. And Fabien not playing the N obviously now, just taking the one-hit knockout on the promo Lurantis. And nothing that can do
really
anything.
Nothing going on.
So
I think last turn, a play that Yves could have made with the choice band in hand is he could have got opted to bench the Lele. So once the Lurantis was KO'd, could have retreated DCE onto the Lele with a choice band to take the KO, keeping the Golisopod at least for now around. So
no Wimpod from the prize cards.
No, he's managed to find a way to miss the 2 prize cards that seemed to be the ones that would have been taken next.
This is really sad. And now...
So... Fabien's now gone, okay, right, he's taking surprise cards, now we end. It goes back to that thing you were talking about earlier on stream. You knew his hand wasn't very good, because he hadn't played many cards. But now he's just taken 2 prize cards. Those could be what he needed, so you just want to get rid of them, get him into a smaller hand size.
Yeah, and the problem with Yves' deck is that there is nothing that draws, like no ability that draws cards, which decks usually have, like either or maybe Oranguru or Artillery and Zoroark are the most popular ones. Of course, he couldn't use it anyways now with Garbodor, but like this is one of the reasons why straight Golisopod was never like a big archetype.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other big archetypes all had these backup stuff, like for drawing cards and being very consistent. This deck seems really straightforward, so it should be consistent.
Looking at it, a lot of it also survives rotation.
True, yeah.
So when Garbatoxin goes away, this could be a little bit different. He's just... And Cynthia and Hope. I believe he lost one of the Wimpods early. Was knocked out earlier on. So he's actually, I think, out of them and no way to recover. I believe. I mean, he may have one left. So as if he can find a way to get into it, and he does need to see it really now. So at least the Lele can do some chip damage. He does find the Wimpod.
Yeah, so he can at least do something. Window of winning is still really narrow. He can take, in theory, he can take a 2-hit knockout with the Tapu Lele, but if Fabien has a Guzma, he just wins. And I don't know how many item cards there are in the discard pile.
Yeah, that's a
he might
big
also
question,
be able to win with the
Trashlands Garbodor.
Trashlands Garbodor. Yeah, he even has a die. It looks like an 8 to me, so this might be a knockout with a choice band. But N2-2, this won't give him the 3 cards he needs. But if Yves get a supporter card and can evolve, take the knockout here, yeah, he still has a chance of winning. But this was not like the hand of the winner.
I see. What, turn 9 Bridget? Really not what you're aiming for in many matchups. But just double checking the number of items, I think.
And now Fabien, his hand is also not too good. But he has a mono puzzle in hand. So he can use that, and that should... Oh, what? Oh, nice, he just retreats and passes.
Yeah, I think the plan is here is like, well, I don't want you to take 2 prize cards because then I really don't have... it becomes a lot more difficult to finish this game out. But instead, he's promoting the Garbatoxin, which is going to take a hit, a small hit, but it's a hit nonetheless.
Yeah, no, so the thing is, if you 2-hit knock out the active Lele, so you attack the Lele, you will get knocked out.
Yep.
But then he has no energy, so he cannot even take the 2-hit knockout. But this way, if he puts the Garbodor active, if it gets knocked out, he can use Trade, and then take the 1-hit knockout with the Garbodor potentially, with the Trashlands Garbodor potentially. But it's really hard for Yves to take the 1-hit knockout on Garbodor anyways. So if this might buy Fabien a whole turn as well, but because he played 3 hand cards, he would need Golisopod and Guzma to make this play bad, and it's really unlikely as well. So yeah, this is a really cool play from like a top level kind of play.
Yeah, it's trying to work out that, well, there's no way they can have all of these cards. And just this is the big thing with Zoroark is actually having to work out when you need to use your ability lock, and actually sometimes when the ability lock kind of gets in the way.
Yeah, and it worked out perfectly fine. Yeah, draw pass, and next turn, if Yves take the knockout on Garbodor, he
must be spotting that though and going, maybe I don't want to.
Yeah, so he does pass.
Yeah.
And Fabien has a field blower.
So he finds a way of doing it anyway.
But does it make sense now? Do you retreat, then field blower yourself, put...
and then trade twice, hoping to see the psychic energy for the knockout?
But in this situation, you can retreat and then just attack the Lele.
Yeah.
Because then if you just need an energy attached to Zoroark, and that should put you in a good position, but still not win you the game, because of course Yves can retreat, attack with Golisopod. So he goes for the risky play. Retreats. Now he just needs an energy and Trashlands to win.
He's like, no, you can leave the choice band. I'm hoping to find
trades, does he find it? Trade another one? And he didn't, so he went for the risky play and it did not pay out.
But we're also in a weird situation where actually getting rid of the Oh, he's top set the Golisopod.
Oh, so now he can take the one-hit knockout.
Yeah, on the Garbodor.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he needed that.
He can even take the knockout with armor press.
Yeah, which would be really nice.
Oh boy. Armor press knockout. Which was a DCE, which is also the better card. So Fabien going for a really risky play here. Did not turn out the way he wanted it to. He does have double puzzle. Is there any way he can finish the game now?
There's no 2 prizes on the board that he can get to.
He has three deck cards left, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Really coming right down to the wire. It's... You know, it's a situation now where the fact that he took the DCE off the prize cards is actually really nice, because it means that the Tapu Lele can also finish off various things around the board. You know, if he finds the Guzma, he can use the Lele to take out the Zoroark.
So Fabien does he have the double colors in his hand?
No, I think it's a double puzzle Lele Cynthia I saw in a Latios.
So he can either take he can either take 2 single knockouts or 2 knockouts.
I think he's just going for the N.
So he benches Lele and plays N.
So if Yves, I don't think Yves has seen any of his field blowers yet. So I think there are 2 field blower in deck.
Oh.
And
he
also
does play 2 of them.
Yeah, and I think there's also we had the choice band in hand, so if he draws the choice band, he can armor press again and take the knockout on the Zoroark. So even this end to 2 could wind up actually being enough. I mean,
Fabien can retreat and then attack with Tapu Lele, which would have more HP, and if he gets the Psychic Energy now, he can even attack with the other Zoroark. Yeah, he does go for the retreat. Yep. Tapu Lele. Armor press at maximum deals 150. If Yves draws the other promo and a choice band, is that enough?
But he doesn't have the field blower. He has an Ultra Ball Grass float, so
yeah, there is no way Yves can win now.
No. I think he just retreat. You know, the best he has is to retreat and hope there's no Guzma.
But you can retreat into Coco, and then you still have first impression, which even deals more damage. So yeah. Wait, no, retreat. Oh. Is he Ultra Balling? Oh, he forgot Garbotoxin.
Yeah. Yes, he's forgotten Garbotoxin. He's gonna. I think Fabien's gonna wait for him to bench it to go.
Yeah, I think he forgot and then realized while he was at it.
Yeah.
And Fabien just needs to attack, and it's a knockout.
Mm-hmm. He had to go somewhere anyway.
So sad.
Really interesting first game though. Yeah. Really different kind of deck to be seeing at this stage of the tournament. Really
revealing his last really cool prize cards. Like, yeah, here are my other ones, by the way.
Yeah, like, I like these cards. I really was hoping to draw some of these at some point. But yeah, it's a really interesting deck. It must have clearly done very well all day to get to 5-1. You know, it's because, again, Buzzwole does the same thing. It ramps damage. This can also ramp damage, but in a kind of different way. It has multiple Diancies really instead of having one. And, you know, with Golisopod being a fairly hard Pokemon to KO in the first place, you get into some pretty neat situations where you just get to take KOs. You can one-shot Zoroark GX, which is really kind of not something you'd expect from a deck playing Golisopod.
Yeah, it's an amazing idea. I really like it, big fan. But unfortunately, the last game, the window for him to win was really narrow. But he could have taken it, of course. Retreat into Coco, pass, and then you can first impress. If you get the field blower and choice band, so you would need any supporter that draws him card, and then get both of them as well, and then you could first impression for 170. Or a Guzma would have also been enough for the game.
Yeah, I think one of the big tricks with that was he does play 2 Field Blower. He knows that he's very ability reliant to get these numbers.
Yeah.
Just I don't think we saw one.
I don't think so either. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which is really kind of unlucky. But hopefully this game, he can find a slightly different way to get this game going. Again, it's nice to see that even like between games, the two of them are having a little chat. A lot of people that I know who play very seriously. You chat at the beginning, in the middle you're super serious, and then at the end you're a bit more friendly again. So it's going to be an interesting game.
I'm looking forward to it.
I
really do.
I'm hoping to see that this deck really can do some stuff.
We have been so lucky with our stream matches so far.
We picked some good matchups.
Yeah. Okay, so round number 7, halftime. 1 game to behold, so it's either a tie, I would say, for Yves. I don't really see him.
Unless
pulling,
somehow
unless Fabien draws really bad.
That's 2 float stones prized, and is that one of the Golisopods? Yeah, and one of the promo Lurantis. But Fabien prizing one of the Garbotoxin. He is playing 2. He's actually only playing 1 Garbotoxin Garbodor. So by prizing that 1 Garbotoxin Garbodor, this means that
you cannot use it at all.
Yeah,
but you can potentially
feel
quite early.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be in the early prize positions, but it could mean that Yves gets just the few turns he needs with his abilities just to be able to kind of get an early start and take a commanding lead. I don't think he gets the Coco and a Wimpod. He doesn't have the attachment, and I don't think I saw a supporter in hand.
He has a Guzma. Paracity is also really interesting because both sides should be strong against it.
Yeah. That's the way where he's reducing his opponent's bench.
Yeah, this prevents like potential Lele's and just more stuff.
But equally, it turns off one of the whole Lurantis promos, so the other way around. So yeah, this way, no matter which way you play it, you're doing something good.
Yeah. He needs 2 Golisopod, 2 of the promos, and then potentially a Coco, so he will always get value out of the Paracity. Because now he cannot bench any Wimpods anymore, which is really important. Yeah, so Fabien just attaching an energy to his Tapu Lele and passing, preparing for next turn, just an energy drive. Yves, his hand is not looking very good.
You see the Evo Soda. I wouldn't be entirely surprised to see this go onto the Golisopod, so that he can, guarantee that it's going to survive the turn. He doesn't want to have Fabien find the Zoroark and the Guzma and take out the Wimpod off the bench, because then he's another 2 turns away from being able to attack. So he's opting to evolve now instead, just to kind of keep himself safe. Coco here actually does some nice work as well with these numbers, with the spread damage. It pushes the Zoroark right into 190, which
if he can get 2 attacks off,
it makes it really nice.
Good. And Fabien still has no Trubbish on the bench. Maybe he knows that the Garbodor is prized, and so he doesn't put a lot of effort into it. But now he knows that his hand is probably not really good. Yves, if he top decks like a basic energy, he plays N. Sweet.
So it might have been a case of actually, from Fabien's point of view, he did see a DCE, a Choice Band, and an Evo Soda. So he was like, okay, well, he's got some, maybe he's not opting to play the supporter now because he has the grass energy in hand. He wants to make sure he can guarantee the attack next turn. So it might have been a case of, it didn't look like a particularly big turn.
I mean, there's also,
it's enough.
You're often forced to just play N, because if both of you draw nothing currently, the Tapu Koko will just destroy the math completely, and he has not enough basic Pokemon on the bench to take the one-hit knockout, so he really needs to take the knockout here.
So now we see a Trubbish from Fabien.
Yeah, now he's able, because now his bench is full. So if he didn't play the N, it would mean He has one Leyland play with 100 damage, and all these Zoroarks would have 40, which is terrible.
So he's got a Sycamore, I believe, in hand. He's got an
now his
Ultra
hand
Ball.
looks fairly strong.
Yeah, so the Ultra Ball straight away.
So if he gets a full house,
yeah, he takes
that's
a
it.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting to see that he didn't go for straight for the promo Lurantis there.
I mean, he might not want to risk it, and last game he lost because of the problem with them.
Yes, it's true.
And he can still draw into it.
But yeah, if he hits double promo Lurantis and a choice band,
yes, that's 190 damage.
That's incredible maths. I imagine it, seems like it would be fairly difficult to be able to pull off consistently. Instead opting to Guzma this turn.
Guzma for Layla to draw prize cards.
Yep.
Which seems like a fair play as well. He can use the JX for knockout next turn as well, and then just try to sweep really fast.
Yeah. So instead of taking the knockout with trying to be ambitious with the first impression, he's gone for the slightly more conservative play, knowing that with Crossing Cut available to him, he's in a really nice position to be able to go right, but I can still take one of these KOs. And he's also the choice band makes it a little bit easier to find for the duration.
So there's a announcement who won seniors video game.
So Fabien then grabbing Lele, for his own Guzma, probably looking to take out the Wimpod on the bench, or he could also go for one of the Lurantis, just because it's the one with the floatstone, the only thing with free retreat on either side of the field. So no, go for the Wimpod, stop him ever getting more than one attacker out. Does seem to be something that Yves' list appears to be struggling with a little bit, is just finding ways of getting multiple out. But you think he has the DC in hand?
Yes.
So
if he Sycamore, he discards one of his Golisopod.
Yeah. He does really need to find a way of finding Field Blower, because more for the parallel here. Not having that bench space is really causing him to struggle to be able to get multiple things set up. He needs 2 Lurantis. This the Lele come down. It just makes the maths an awful lot more difficult for him in terms of establishing more than one threat at any point in this game.
So he searches for Cynthia, so he can shuffle the Golisopod from his hand into the deck without discarding it. But yeah, this puts his bench now completely full.
Yeah, he really does need to find these Field Blower. He's probably in a position where he doesn't really want to use one of the Field Blowers just to get rid of the Parallel City, with the threat that the Garbodor can be played,
exactly.
especially because it has been taken from prize.
And he got the choice band, so now he can take the one-hit knockout. 200 damage with Crossing Cut GX.
Yeah.
So if he wants to, he can.
He could also Ultra Ball here to grab the second promo and still go for it with the first impression.
Yeah, that seems really good as well.
Because that way he can conserve the...
Yeah, he has his GX attack, but he goes for the GX attack straight away, going down to 2 prize cards. But now a one-hit knockout is really unlikely. However, there's a Tapu Lele with 20 damage on the bench, which means the normal, regular 150 first impression can do the trick.
And I think he's got a Ultra Ball. I think he's playing multiple Lele. So if this Lurantis goes down, which it looks like it's going to, he's actually in a position to just... Okay, no, he's not because of the Field Blower. He would have been in a position to just take the KO. Fabien having all of the cards in his hand here.
So if he would need to top deck either Guzma or... Oh, there's actually a Guzma now on Fabien's side. So if Yves top decks a Guzma or a Field Blower, he can win potentially.
So something he could do here as well is he's got the DC in hand to put onto the Lele. So he could actually opt to go for something along the lines of the Armor Press this turn for 130, basically meaning that the Lele with the DC on it finishes off the active Zoroark, which means he doesn't need to keep finding parts and hoping to find certain combinations of supporters. He can just Sycamore this turn if he wished. You can't bench.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, forgot about the parallel city using an Ultra Ball for Wimpod. Yeah, unfortunately, if he had the Field Blower, he could have won, but yeah, he doesn't, so he has to find another way.
Well, he has a Sycamore in hand, so what he really wanted to do there is if he could have Ultra Balled for the second promo Lurantis, put the DC onto the Lele, then Sycamored. If he saw the Field Blower, he wins that way. If he doesn't, he can just Armor Press, set up for the next turn.
He doesn't win that way because the first impression won't trigger.
No, he's got the DC, so he can Armor Press.
But Armor Press doesn't deal enough.
Is it just short?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be,
short. However, yeah, he can still just go for a bunch of 2-hit knockout. And now he actually is 60 for first impression. Always sad to see, but better than nothing. For 1 energy, 30 is still really strong. Oh yeah, he forgot to 50 Jackson marker. And Fabien, another Field Blower, putting in again with the possibility of using trade. And if this Golisopod gets knocked out, the Garbotoxin doesn't matter anymore, because then there is no Golisopod in play which could attack. And
the Acer Roller is so important here.
Yeah, and I think now Fabien almost has this game sealed.
I think so. It becomes a case of just take the KO on this. There's no threat on Yves' side at all for these last 2 prize cards. He has the double puzzle, so he can, he has basically access to whatever cards he wants whenever he wants them. He actually has 3 puzzles in his hand, I think I saw. So he's in a position to really just grab whatever he wants now to seal this game out. I believe there's probably enough items. I think that was what Fabien was counting there, was the number of items in the discard. So it's just a Floatstone, attach.
Yeah. He can't put Lele active, so probably has to pass as well.
Yeah, I think it's very much a just pass here, and
because he has. So the problem is he only plays 3 Golisopod and 2 are in the discard pile, 1 is in his hand. So if he plays Sycamore now,
yeah, he never gets an attacker. Yeah. He can never win if he does this. So he instead goes for the Cynthia, just hoping he can find whatever, it's... The Field Blower would have been perfect a couple of turns ago. Now it's too late because there's just no way of attacking with anything grass type to get the damage boost. So drawing the 6, we do see a Field Blower at long last.
Yeah, but currently it doesn't really help too much.
In fact, here I'd say to leave the Floatstone on the Garbodor because it just denies Fabien trade. Because if Fabien is so close to being able to seal the game out, leaving the Floatstone there could have put him in a position to go right. If you don't have them in hand, maybe you can't draw into them with trade this way.
Yeah, but Yves, this Field Blower not perfectly planned because now it's just 1 extra item in his discard pile, and it didn't really help him. He didn't need any ability this turn.
So he actually has the Rescue Stretcher for the Garbodor, the Grass Energy, the Psychic Energy already in hand.
Yeah, he can retreat, and yes.
He has a bunch of puzzles to go grab whatever would have helped the maths. And that's the end of the game. Fabien taking a really good series, a really interesting 2-0. Fabien probably not expecting to see something along those lines.